What's up guys, welcome back to question number 287 of the database management video series. My name is Dinul Perera and I am here to empower your inner skills in the software engineering field. So today we have question number 287. Let's go check it out. So we have question number 287 today, but if you have been in touch with us, you know that question number 287 is actually part 11 of the database management video series. So it's part number 11 of question number 16 of this series. So if you haven't watched question number 16, you can go ahead and check that out first. I'll leave the video link in the description below. So make sure to watch that video and leave a like and comment in the comment section. So today we have question number 287 of this series. So let's go check it out how I'm going to do it. So my question number 27 consists of 5 parts. So all of these 5 parts I'll be discussing in this video. So stay tuned and listen carefully. So my first question is, what is the number of students studying in class 11A? So we designed the tables and all the data in video number 16. So now in this question I'm going to use my HelioScale software to execute these queries. So basically, according to the question, what I first have to do is select all from exam_marks_db dot the student table, since all the students are present inside this table. So I'm going to run this query. So now we have the details of all the students. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to inner join. Actually the name of the database is updated to final because I created another database. So I'm going to I'll run this one as well. So I am going to inner join the class table to this one, exam_marks_db_final. So class table on the condition that the class ID of the student table should be equal to the ID of the class table. Okay, let's run this. Now we have the class table connected to this as well. Now what I am going to do is I am going to give the condition to filter out all these details, that the class name should be equal to 11A. Now we have only the details of the students of class 11A. Those students of class 11B are filtered out. So what I am going to do is I am going to get the index numbers of these students. Now we have the index numbers, so there are 4. So if you want to count these, so since in this case it's very easy, you can directly count them, but in case of large number of data, you can use this SQL function called count. So you just have to put the column that you need to count inside this. So in this case I am going to use the index number for counting. So I'll run this. Now we have the count as 4. I'll just rename the column as the student count. So we have the student count as 4. So that's the end of the first question. Now my second question, find the number of students who scored between 40 and 90 in all the subjects for the first term examination. So I can use the marks table directly. And I have to connect the exam term table to that. So simply that's what I have to do. So I'll just open my HelioScale browser, then clean all of this and write select all from the exam_marks_db_final and the marks table. So once I run this, I get all this data. So I am going to inner join the exam_marks_db. The exam term table on the condition that the student under this marks table, I am going to connect it using this term ID column. So in this term ID column, I am going to include this that you take this table, the exam term table, I have to connect the term ID to this. So let's run this. Now we have the exam term table connected to this as well. Means according to the question, they are asking us the first term. Now all the connections are complete. We have to connect only two tables. Now I am going to give the conditions. So my term name should be first term. So now I get only the details of the first term. Next, I have to filter out only the details of students who got marks between 40 and 90. So, and the mark should be between. So I am going to use the SQL function called between 40 and 90. Okay. Now I get only the details of the students who got marks between 40 and 90. If you pay attention to the marks column, all the marks are between 40 and 90. So now I have to count all these entries. So I will use the function called count the student underscore index number. So now I have the count as 19. So I will just rename this column as student count. So the student count is 90. Okay. That's the end of the second question. So my third question is, what is the number of students appearing in the subject of science in the second term examination of the students studying in grade 11? So as all the students are studying in grade 11, the last sentence is not that much of importance, but the important points in this question is that the subject is given as science and the term is given as the second term. I'm going to break down this answer for this question in several steps. Let's see how I'm going to do it. I'll just open my SQL browser, close all this, then as usual select all from exam underscore marks underscore db final dot the marks table. Now we have all the marks. Now what I'm going to do is, since we have the subject and the exam term, I'm going to include both of them. So inner joining, first I'll inner join the subject table. Exam underscore marks underscore db final dot the subject table in the condition that the subject ID of the marks table should be equal to subject ID of the subject table. Okay, now we have the subject table connected. Now I am going to inner join the exam term table. Inner joining exam underscore marks underscore final exam term on the condition that student underscore marks underscore db record and the term ID of this table should be equal to the term ID of the exam term table. Okay, now we have the term table connected to this as well. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to give the condition where first the subject name should be science. Now as you can see, we have all the subjects, all 3 subjects. Now when I run this query, we have only science. And I am going to separate the conditions using AND. So AND, the term name should be, according to the question, it's second term. Okay. Now we have all the details of the students for science, but only for the second term. Okay. Now we have to count all this data. So what I am going to do is I am going to use count function. I am going to count the student indexes. Student underscore index number. Now we have a count of 8. Just rename this column as student count. Okay, now we have the student count as 8. That's the answer for the third question. So my fourth question is, find the following details of 11A students. So 11A who scored more than 60 marks for mathematics for the second term. Okay. According to the question, the thing is we have to connect all tables together. So let's start off by connecting the student table, the marks table. Select all from exam underscore marks underscore db.final. So this is the marks table. Now we have all the details. Now I am going to inner join the student table first. On the condition that the student index number of the marks table should be equal to the ID of the student table. Index number of the student table. Now we have the student table connected to this. Now I am going to join the class to this student table. And the condition the class ID of the student table should be equal to class ID of the class table. Okay, now we have the student class table connected to this as well. Now I am going to inner join the subject table. So inner join exam underscore marks underscore final the subject table on the condition that the subject ID of the marks table should be equal to subject ID of the subject table. Okay. Now we have the subject table connected to this as well. My next step is inner joining the exam term table. So exam term table on the condition that the term ID of this table should be equal to the term ID of the exam term table. Okay. Now we have the exam term table connected to this as well. So that's all the connections that we have to give. Now we have to give the conditions. So according to the question, the condition is, the first one is that we must filter details of the second term. Next one is giving the subject as mathematics. Third is giving the class name, and fourth is selecting out the marks which are greater than 60. So first one is the second term. So we don't need all of them, we need, just for this sake I'll use all columns. So the condition is where term name should be second term, and the subject name should be mathematics, and the class name should be 11A. Okay, so we have all the details of the students who are in 11A who sat for the mathematics exam on the second term. Now what we have to do is, finally we must filter out those who got greater than 60 marks. So the mark should be greater than 60. Okay, now we have two people who have got more than 60. So what I must do is, according to the question, I must find out these 5 details of those students. So admission number, that is of course the index number, then the first name and last name, first name and last name, the mark and the exam date. Okay, now we have only the details: index number, first name, last name, mark and the exam date. Okay, so that's the end of the second question. Sorry, the fourth question. Next, the last question, question number 5. They are asking, find the number of students in class 11A who scored more than 60 marks in the science subject for the second term. Okay, now we have to connect. We have to connect all tables. So I'm going to break this answer to about 5 parts. So let's see how I'm going to do it. So my first point is selecting all data from the exam marks table. Now we have all the details of the marks table. So next I'm going to inner join the student table. Inner join the student table which is in this database. On the condition, student index number of this table should be equal to index number of the student table. Now we have the student table connected. Next step is we are joining the class table to this one. On the condition the class ID of the student table should be equal to the class ID of the class table. Now let's run this. We have the student class table connected to this as well. Next, I'm going to give the I'm going to join the student the subject table. And the condition subject ID of the marks table should be equal to the subject ID of the subject table. Next, what I am going to do is I am going to join the exam term table. On the condition the term ID of the exam of the marks table to be equal to the term ID of the exam term table. Okay, now we have all the tables connected. Now what I have to do is my next step is giving the conditions. So there, so let's see the question again. The class should be, so my condition is 1 should be the second term. Subject should be science. Class should be 11A and the mark should be more than 60. So term name should be second term. And the subject name should be science. And the class name should be equal to 11A. Class should be equal to 11A, and finally, and the mark should be greater than 60. Okay, now we have all the details of the students who sat for science for the second term by 11A class and got the mark greater than 60. Okay, so they are asking us to count all these students. So counting, I use the function called count, and I am going to count the index numbers of these students. Okay, as a count we get 3. So as going to declare student count as 3. Okay, now this is the end of the fifth question. This is the end of the fifth question, and that is also the end of question number 27 of the database management video series. So I'll see you guys in the next video, that is question number 28. So until then, bye bye guys.